What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? Happy
Good.
Thursday to
Hi.
you. Can y'all hear me?
Hello.
Everybody hear everybody?
How you doing? Hey,
Hello.
Cups.
Hey, Cubs.
Cubs is in the
Bobo to
house. What's
love,
up, Cubs? Hey, boo.
Hey, Vovo. Hey, Belize.
Belize.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. As everybody comes in, let me go ahead and share it out because YouTube be playing with the notifications.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes go ahead and
Mhm.
share it out. Let everybody know this is where we are and what we doing. How's everybody doing? Peace. How you doing? What's been going on?
I'm doing good. I just been so busy working and keeping my ears to the ground and
Yes, honey.
yeah, all up in the social media and Instagram streets.
Listen, it is a whole situation trying to keep up with these Instagram streets. How you doing, Andrea? Hey boo.
Hey, boo. I am doing good. I am just, you know how you're still in work mode when you get off work?
I
So my
understand
mind is
that.
still kind of like going fast, but I'm trying to like, you know what I'm saying? Just bring it on down a little bit.
I
I'm
get it.
doing great though. Yeah.
I get it. I do.
Awesome.
I get it. So y'all, we have, it's been a interesting 2 weeks. We have some updates to some stories we reported. We have a couple of news stories to bring you guys, and of course, we are going to have our moment of zen at the end, where we always try to bring it back to
Yes.
have a zen moment. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I guess I'll get started, and then we'll go around the piece, and then Andrea, and then we'll kind of bring it back around that way, if that's cool. Or did y'all want to go in any particular order?
That sounds
Yes,
perfect.
yes, perfect.
Okay, all right. Well, the big story that's been going on this week, you guys, is we have a major shakeup in the world of these new hip hop people. Because of course I'm old, so I don't know none of these people like that. But Young Thug was indicted on a 56 count indictment. Now, him and he has 28 co-conspirators, which include the rapper Gunna, which I don't really know either one of them like that, but Gunna was to allegedly linked to Chloe Bailey for a while. They were dating allegedly. And Young Thug, he's been on the rap scene for a few years now. Now, what it sounds like over the last week, here's what's happened. They got arrested on Monday. Well, he got arrested on Monday. Since Monday, let me give y'all the breakdown because every day is something else. So there was an indictment issue for Gunna as well, but he turned himself in yesterday. Both of them have had their preliminary hearing, and neither one of them were given bond, so they are both being held. Now, here's a couple of concerns. One concern is Young Thug's gang, which he's being accused of finding and running this gang called the Young Slime YSL. It's YSL, Young Slime Legion or something like that. League, something like that.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
They have been connected allegedly. Everything I'm saying is allegedly because I ain't read all the court documents. I'm just telling
Allegedly.
allegedly. But allegedly he has been linked to the attempt on FNY Lucci. Now, FNY Lucci is another rapper, and that FNY is another gang that they're all affiliated with. There's a whole FNY Lucci, FNY Poochie, FNY Louie, all these FNY people. But or YMF anyway, child, all these people. He was arrested on murder charges, and there was an attempt on his life while he was in jail. And so allegedly there was a second, or was going to be a second attempt, and Young Thug's crew is associated with that. Also, what we found out is that Young Thug's crew is allegedly connected with the shooting at Lil Wayne's tour bus back in 2018. So it seems like these indictments, it's a lot of stuff in the paperwork that's connecting him to these other situations. Now, Young Thug's name was mentioned in the investigation of the tour bus, Lil Wayne's tour bus, but he was never indicted or arrested. So I feel like they didn't have enough proof, or they didn't feel like they had enough proof. Um, um, So the DA did do a press conference on Tuesday, and what the DA said was that yes, social media posts are a part of the evidence, and so are their song lyrics are a part of their evidence. And then today, it came down today that they added 6 more counts to Young Thug based on the search of his home. Now, I'm gonna just read y'all a little bit of what they found in his home when they searched it either earlier today or yesterday. I'm gonna just give y'all a little bit because I read this and I was like, dang. Because I was like, dang, like you can eat all of that. Okay. So Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, he was charged with 28 other associates. Now, here's what they found in his house when the police searched his house. The additional charges include possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute, possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. That means they found more than just weed. Possession of firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of a sawed-off shotgun, sawed-off rifle, and a machine gun, dangerous weapon or silencer. Now, the silencer is going to get him in trouble. I mean, all of this is going to get him in trouble, but that silencer adds another level of intent, right? You got a silencer. Ooh, that's not good. In addition to those charges, they are also adding 3 charges of unlawful participation in criminal gang activity while employed by or associated with a criminal street gang. Y'all, I think he in trouble.
I think he's in a lot of trouble,
He's in
especially
a whole heap of trouble.
right. Rico, we're talking Rico. Oh yeah.
Rico is serious. He needs Johnny Cochran to jump up out the grave because that's the only thing that's gonna save.
Isn't a conspiracy for something too? Conspiracy, is that the racketeering?
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, that was part. Okay, let me go back. That was part of the original charges, but I can go back and read y'all part of the original charges. So let me go back and read a little bit of that. Yes, the original charge includes okay. It includes enterprise. Okay, so it's called the Young Slime Life. That's the gang that allegedly they're saying he started the gang. So that's where the Rico comes from. That he actually started the gang. They conspired to associate and with others for the common purposes of illegally obtaining money and property through a pattern of racketeering activity and conducting and participating in the enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. Listen, y'all.
It's just too much. Starting with the name. Just starting with the name.
Yeah. Slime Life. Who would want to be associated with Young Slime Life?
And you know what? They're saying nowadays there's like a whole, well, I know, okay, so I personally had a girlfriend who, still have a girlfriend, whose ex was a detective, and his job was basically to monitor social media.
Absolutely.
Monitor social media of a lot of these rappers / gangsters to see if they were going to give up some very, personal information so that they can be charged with real crimes. And, it's not a game anymore. Like, people are trying to, these rappers are really trying to floss online. They're trying to floss in their music, and they are getting popped left and right. And can I just say they don't make gangsters like they used to? Because what is that about? I can't believe that they are providing so many clues to the illegal things that they're doing. So I just think that that's a little bit shocking.
That's the key too, right there, Peace. None of these folks is OGs.
Right.
They don't have that OG blood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think that with social media, they're trying to floss. They're trying to prove who is more gangsta, all of these things. And then they're just getting popped left and right. So
listen, Ice-T posted on his Instagram today. Ice-T posted, it says, "It's easy to make the streets think you're a gangster. It's hard to convince the feds that you're not.
Right. That part.
Because
that's a real OG. That's
exactly right. And that's right. Ice-T was really for real about that life. Okay.
Right.
And I feel like you said, they don't make, because here's the thing. And this is the part that I don't understand, or the part that I can't wrap my brain around. And maybe I'm crazy, but I remember they was trying to clown Ice Cube. Even though I divorced Ice Cube, I'm gonna quote him. They was trying to clown, this was years ago. They were clowning Ice Cube for moving out the hood and moving into this nice neighborhood, right? And he was like, but isn't that the goal?
Right. To get
like, isn't that the goal? The goal is for us to do what we're doing to make the money to have a better life. So when I see these people who are choosing to stay in the life, who are choosing to do certain things, and again, we know that all of this is alleged, so I ain't saying the man is guilty, but the fact, it just sounds like there's a whole lot of smoke. Y'all know what I say about where there's smoke, there's fire. It seems like it's a whole lot of smoke, but it just seems to me like you do these things to get out, and I feel like these people are working really hard to stay in or get in, and I just don't understand. The only other thing I will say is, well, no, I'm just gonna say I don't understand it. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I don't understand it either, because it's like you still want to live this street type of lifestyle where, that mindset I thought was more like a hustle type of lifestyle, so that you can have more financial gains or whatever. So now that you're a millionaire, you're still trying to live that hustle type of lifestyle. I don't understand. I can't connect with that. I just don't have sympathy for that. I don't get it. You're already a millionaire. So
but their mindset is still on fast money, and they just can't help themselves but get involved with illegal activities because they see a bigger financial gain from it all. But it's not smart. This is not intelligence at its finest. This is like,
it's not
slime ball mentality.
Right. And shout out to Cubs who's in the chat. Cubs said, why they ain't get Jack Harlow? Well, I'm gonna say this. I saw somebody else bring up Jack Harlow's name. I don't know enough about any of these people. I didn't even know who Jack Harlow was until recently, if I'm gonna be honest with y'all, until I started just seeing him pop up everywhere. But when Jack Harlow said yesterday that he didn't know that Ray J and Brandy were brother and sister, I just can't respect nothing else that come out his mouth. So I don't know what the connection is between Jack Harlow and these people that he should have been indicted. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't say it's a racial thing because I don't know enough information. I mean, was he just hanging with them? Was he I don't know. But I did hear his name come up again. Other people said the same thing, like, well, why he wasn't indicted. But I will say this. I don't think they're done.
No.
But I don't know if I don't know if he would be involved, because again, I honestly just don't know enough information. I just have to be honest and say that's the most honest answer I can give you, is that I don't know.
Right. So I guess we'll see as this story develops, because it's going to be a developing story.
Absolutely. I mean, every day has been something else. It's been a new update every day. So this is definitely.
I'm curious to know if they're ratting each other out, because it seems like they're picking up more and more people. Right. So I don't know if there's a bird that's singing right now, because it seems like it just there's more and more people that keep getting picked up. So
they have to be, because what it is the more information they give, the more the investigators or detectives can play on that and say, well, if you tell us this, then we will promise you this, or you know what I'm saying? Give you a goodie bag here, a Happy Meal here, a 5 years off
Happy Meal
here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Cub said that he's connected with Young Thug. Yeah. Again, I still don't have enough information, because being connected with somebody and them selling drugs together, I don't know. But I have no idea. I don't know nothing. I just don't know. But of course, that's Cub's cousin, so she gonna tell us.
Of course.
Right, Kingsman. Jack Harlow just need to be locked up because he know that Brandy and Ray J were brother and sister. So I'm gonna need you to go take several seats. Cali Girl said it's not Jack. It was an associate of his. He had nothing to do with anything. Okay, listen, y'all know y'all be giving me information in the chat, child. Y'all be giving me information in the chat. Okay, so that was that story. So we're gonna go to Peace. Peace
Okay.
Love has something to share with us today.
Yeah, so we always not only do we report on pop culture, but also things that are going down in the YT streets. So let's go ahead and get into it. Kevin Samuels passed away not too long ago. I want to say it was about this weekend, I believe. So he was 56 years old. It was really unfortunate because his mom actually found out on social media that he had passed. He was a dating and lifestyle influencer who had basically come under fire for a lot of his misogynistic remarks. For those who are not familiar with him, so once again, he was 56 years old. He was with a woman at the time when he did have chest pains, and then he collapsed. He actually collapsed on top of the woman, and she called 911, and he was basically pronounced dead. The officials did attempt CPR at the scene, but Samuels was unresponsive, according to police. But so this is the thing about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was an influencer who had over 1.4 million subscribers on his platforms combined. He was very, very controversial because one of the things that he believed and that he would basically, say and try to affirm is that unmarried women over the age of 35 are considered leftovers. And so,
I beg your pardon. Just kidding. Go ahead.
unmarried women over the age of 35 considered leftovers. And men will definitely have a problem. Well, they must have a problem because they are not married and they are over the age of 35. He also would advise that modern Black women should seek high value men, and he would also equate women's value and attractiveness to their weight. He would also advise that modern Black women should seek high value men. And the reason why, basically, what a high value man is a man that is a man of means and influence. And from what I read, they would have to make at least $220,000 a year. No, not 220, $120,000 a year plus. Okay. So we're talking about a very small group of men that are considered a high value man. And so what his purpose was to teach women that are 35, basically, I don't even think he was teaching them. I think that he was basically telling them that you are leftovers. You're reaching for the stars, lady. Like, if this is something that you're trying to get, the likelihood of you actually getting it are slim to none, because you're over the age of 35. You're not very attractive, or you are too overweight. So basically, he made his career off of shamelessly disgracing Black women for profit. And so that's just my personal opinion. I also feel like he perpetuated a lot of stereotypes and discrimination that Black women face while dating. But yeah, so when he passed, there was just a lot of buzz, a lot of opinions about his passing. He actually created a space here on YT, a community called the Manosphere, and a lot of the men from the Manosphere did believe or share the same thoughts as Kevin Samuels. So what do you guys think about his passing, and what do you guys think about Kevin Samuels now that he's gone?
Can I say something?
Yeah, that's your time.
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, among other things that can be said, I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite comedians named Sheila King, because he commented on this, very, very kind of strange death. But he made a statement saying that, you know what? Kevin Samuels really went out really, really good, because what did he say? He said he came and went at the same time. So he went out in peace.
You think?
Listen, he went out on top. Hey!
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel that, and I had to look up a statistic. I felt like to me, I felt like he was I think that he was very divisive. I felt like for him to be so targeted, towards Black women and basically telling them that they're not good enough. I just, it's already rough out here, as Black people out here in America. And it's even rougher for Black families to stay together. Is very rough and difficult for, there's a breakdown in the Black family structure. And what I mean is, I actually did a quick check. 67% of Black children are born into a single parent household. 67%.
Wow.
Y'all, let that sink in. That's 70, damn near 70%, basically, of kids are born into a single parent household. So I feel like somebody like Kevin Samuels, who is, going off at the mouth with so much influence and perpetuating these stereotypes, and causing more divisiveness within, our Black families and the Black family structure, is just not good, for us as Black people as a whole.
Mm-hmm. I don't buy into that whole 35 women 35 and up are leftovers. That's just not fact. That has no basis in truth at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say
What
this
about, sorry.
about Kevin Samuel. So, I didn't really know a lot about him because the first I heard about him was a comment he made about a year or so ago, where the clip that went viral, where he had a woman on his YouTube show, and he basically embarrassed that woman, and basically in a really nice way, well, maybe not so nice way, I guess, called her ugly and said that's why she can't find the kind of man that she wants. She need to lower her standards because she ain't a 10, right? That was my first time being aware of him. And from that point forward, I was like, well, this isn't somebody I'm going to really pay a lot of attention to or give a lot of my energy to, because clearly he's an idiot. I mean, I'm gonna just be honest. I mean, no disrespect to the dead, but he's an idiot. And so his opinion of me didn't matter because I'm I'm not for him, and that's fine. My problem is what people really truly, like, he really was people's guru. You know what I'm saying? He really was people's guru, and he really was, like, people like a lot of these men, ouch, really truly like worship this man. And I feel like because he was saying the things that they wanted to say, but they knew that if they said it, they would get their mouth slapped. But the reality is, everybody knows that, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, clearly not, but people know that this, whatever this fantasy is that he's putting forth, really is not real. Because look at him. Like, he wasn't even living in his truth. Like, I could see if he had, it's kind of like what we found out about Derek Jackson was cheating on his wife. It's like, damn, like, the illusion is broken. People like the illusion. People like the idea of all the things that Derek Jackson used to get on here, and he used to sit in his car and give us these great words of wisdom and love up on Black women. And it was like, oh my gosh, he's so sensitive. Oh my gosh, yes, he understands us. And then the illusion was shattered. And it's kind of the same thing, I think. Unfortunately, it was in his death, but the illusion was shattered. I mean, now allegedly he ain't even had no money in the bank. Now, I don't necessarily think I believe that, but it just he certainly didn't have what he was claiming, that, like you were saying, Peace, breaking down what he said the man should have, or the type of man. Like,
I just think I think a lot of his followers, they definitely were aligned with his misogynistic views. And
Right.
when you bring up the words, illusions, I also think of delusions, because a lot of these men, he was coming from the standpoint of someone who's making $120,000 plus. That's a different conversation than a man who's making, $45,000 a year, right? So I think that, he's coming from the standpoint of someone that's making $120,000 plus. So the conversation is that, you know, he's coming from the standpoint of a man that's, he's a Black man, the world is his oyster, and he has a great selection of women based upon his finances, right?
Correct.
So I think that that's the standpoint that he was coming from. But you have like, the Joe Schmo down the block who were aligned with his beliefs, but it's just like, buddy, you're making $30,000 a year, $30,000 a year pumping gas. You don't have you can't, you're not the type that he's referring to. You're not the type of man that he's referring to. You don't have the same options. You better get with Felicia down the street and be happy with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Right.
I just feel like those who were, I think that the way that he thought and the way that his mindset it was aligned with a lot of men and their misogynistic views and their way of thinking, but he really wasn't talking to them. He wasn't talking. Right. You need a whole different conversation if you are making less than $60,000. Okay. So that's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. I also want to tag team that too, because there's so much talk from him saying that, he's a high value man and he feels like certain women can never achieve their dream man or whatever the high value status or standard is for him. But my thing is, first of all, he had no respect for Black women and he came out of the boop boop of a Black woman. Secondly, why wasn't he ever speaking the opposite? Why wasn't he ever speaking of the very opposite of a high value woman? You know what I'm saying? Why did he believe that women don't have value or women cannot be considered as high value? Is that the manosphere kind of mentality? Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why? I just have that question.
And I know for me, my biggest issue with this is it's not even the men, because I mean, again, like I said, they found their, they found their man that was saying what they really wanted to say or whatever the situation is. My biggest concern are the women. Why were there women entertaining him? Like, this man clearly has nothing nice to say about who you are generally as a person, a Black woman. Right. Why are we still calling into his shows? Why were we still tuning into what he had to say? Like, his millions of subscribers were not all men. You know what I'm saying? And so that's, for me, is the bigger question. That is some self-hate there. Absolutely. That, I mean, I don't have the degrees to really dig deep into it, but I know as myself, like I said, all it took was for me to see that one viral clip from him. I couldn't even tell you what his YouTube channel was called because I never tapped into it. I never wanted to hear what he had to say. I never cared about what he had to say. Unless something he said went viral, I never knew about it. And I just think that's a bigger question that we've got to stop. Again, as Black women, not myself, maybe not the 3 women up on this panel, and I'm gonna throw cups into it as well. Maybe not the 4 women on this panel, but why do we as Black women always look for validation in someone who constantly tells us that we're not good enough?
That's deep.
Yeah, it sure is. And there's a whole host of reasons and explanations that can justify that pattern of thinking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you guys hear also Kevin Samuel's alleged daughter has come out and kind of made some contradicting statements? Like, I was listening to another commentator. She had an audio clip of Kevin Samuel's alleged daughter. And one of the things that she said was her grandmother, or first of all, she didn't directly address Kevin Samuel's mom as her grandmother. She addressed her as Kevin Samuel's mom. So that was kind of strange to me. The other thing that was kind of strange to me is that this so-called daughter of Kevin Samuels said that her grandmother died when she was 10. Now, I don't know I don't know Kevin Samuels' mom's history or anything. I know her first name was Beverly, I think. So, did you guys hear anything to that tune?
Only thing I heard was that statement wasn't true.
That the statement that she died at 10 wasn't true, or that the daughter.
Yeah, that's the only. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I heard that whoever this. I mean, well, I shouldn't say whoever. I heard that his daughter, that a lot of the statements that his daughter has made, people, and again, it's people on the internet, so I can't say that just because they saying it ain't true, but people have been debunking some of the things. So I don't, what motivation would she have to lie? I don't know, but I've heard that a lot of the comments that she's made are kind of contradictory to facts. Right. Why she's lying, I don't know, but that's just what I heard. But again,
is it really his daughter, or is it someone looking for clout?
And see, that's the question. And again, I ain't done enough research because I really haven't been paying that much attention. If you really want to know the truth of the matter, I haven't been putting that much energy into anything, because I did one little story on Kevin Samuels, and all I was doing was saying that the man died. I wasn't being shady. I didn't get into how I personally felt. I was really, I felt like I was very unbiased, and people were still coming for me. So I said, well, dang, I can't imagine if I really said something mean about the man. You know what I mean? But, like you said.
Yeah, on my channel, I didn't hold back, and the Manosphere descended upon.
Oh, yeah, they came. Yeah, they
came hard.
Like the Decepticons, honey. They came. I
kept seeing your community post. Peace, love.
Yeah,
but look, Peace was giving it to him. She was giving it to them, honey.
I was serving it up.
Mm-hmm. He was breaking it down for him. Had them in
breaking it down, serving it up and breaking it down. Okay.
The quickness, like boop, everything that there was coming with you was like, well, for those of you who said this, bam, read this.
Right. When she broke down the definition, what his definition was of the man, and the $120,000 a year, and this, and she was like, so half of y'all wouldn't even fit. So why y'all?
97% of y'all. 97% of y'all. Right. All right, y'all. So next, we're just going to follow up to the case between Blac Chyna and the Kardashians. So a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you already told them, but we meet on the second and fourth Thursdays of every month. So a couple of weeks ago, we did talk about the Kardashian versus Blac Chyna case, and in the end, Blac Chyna lost. It was a defamation lawsuit, and according to this article, it was a major victory for the reality TV personalities who were accused of derailing Chyna's unscripted television career. The jurors deliberated for a full day, Friday and throughout Monday morning, indicating mid-afternoon Monday that they had reached a verdict. That verdict sided with the Kardashians and Jenners, with the panel declining to award any damages to Chyna. Chyna had been seeking more than $100 million in damages. So that is the follow-up.
Right. So I'm going to say this, as the person who really did not want to see the Kardashians win. I was really, I didn't think that Blac Chyna was the best person, maybe. But I still feel like she had some valid points, but neither here nor there. What I will say that was interesting is that the jury did say that they believed that the Kardashians acted in bad faith. It just didn't rise to the bar of the lawsuit, whatever the legal statute was. Right. So I found that interesting that the jury was like, yeah, we do think that the Kardashians acted in bad faith. However, based on the law, it's not enough for us to give you any money.
From what I understand, when it comes to a defamation lawsuit, it's very, very hard to win. So you really need to have your stuff together.
Yeah. And I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't think they were guilty of defamation based on what I understand the law to be. But I did think that they were guilty of the tampering. That's like, if I was on the jury, I wouldn't have given her anything based on defamation. but I do feel like there was tampering involved. So again, I don't know what the legal standard is to say whether it met that burden, in my opinion, because clearly the jury didn't think so. But I'm saying in my opinion, but I do feel like the tampering was there, but clearly not enough.
Right. And the latest that I've seen on the Shade Room streets is that Blac Chyna, she kicked a woman in her stomach last week.
Girl.
And then a few days ago, she was baptized in her pool on her birthday. So, yeah, I'm going to leave with that.
And don't forget that I believe it's later on this month or either early next month, she has her trial against Rob Kardashian for the revenge porn. Now, to me, that seems like an open and shut case. But again, I ain't nobody's lawyer, and I haven't looked at all of the documentation and all of the evidence. But based on what we know, that seems pretty basic.
You know what? I think at the end of the day, it also depends on how good your lawyer is, right?
She needs a better lawyer.
True.
Yeah,
yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. I'm
curious to know how, because I mean, first of all, they're the Kardashians, Rob Kardashian's kids. They're very connected.
Yeah.
So,
it was a whole team against one person. So,
exactly. Right, that too. So we'll see.
We definitely will. So we got like everything else. We'll keep y'all updated on that. So Andrea, did you want me to? Do I need to share this screen, or how do I let you pull up your? Do I just add? What do I do with your documents, sweetheart?
You just add it to the stream.
Got it like that. Boom. Got
exactly.
It. Boom.
Y'all ready for this? All right, y'all. Now this is something I've been interested in, since it happened. But this story kind of came across my little desk. It says Travis Scott he's been sued. Now I think the count is like over 100. Over 100 people are suing for medical bills.
It was a new lawsuit filed today against a woman who claims that she suffered a miscarriage. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's exactly what I'm getting to. Yeah.
I apologize.
No, you're good, because that's what's current, So over 100 people suing for medical bills, damage, trauma, whatever else. But this story says that he's being sued by a pregnant Astroworld concert goer who claims that she lost her baby after being trampled. It says a new Astroworld filing in Harris County pushed the total number of injured claimants to over 4,900 individuals. Travis has been hit with, yet another lawsuit that stemmed from this November incident and mass tragedy in Houston, Texas. The lady's name is Shanazia Williamson, and her husband, Gerard Owens. They live in Dayton, Ohio. And they claim that, in their lawsuit, they're claiming that their unborn child died as a result of the mother being trampled and crushed when she attended the festival. She had horrific injuries, and the untimely death of her and her husband's unborn child was really, really too much. In addition, she also sustained injuries to her back, her leg, her chest, her stomach, and other parts of her body. Scott promoters, let's see, the Live Nation concert company is also facing a lot of charges in New York. Let's see, what else? The original, let me go here. The original, now this image always freaks me out. But this is like a visual of, I guess, a few days ago of some of the scene. I'm on the crime scene, but it says it remains unclear just how far Williamson was in her pregnancy, and this is kind of like just a reminder of what happened. Let me see if it'll play. Now, I hate the sound of this lady's voice, by the way.
Mass casualty event. As I said, Scott continued performing. In fact, Concert staff reportedly ignored pleas from audience members to stop the show. At least 2 fans climbed the camera platforms to warn about the death and chaos. So how did this happen, and who should be held accountable? One man searching for those answers is Tony Busby. He's representing one of the victims of the concert. Tony, so far, what have you been able to learn? And you can also react to Officer Griffith's comments.
Well, what we know for sure is based on the radio traffic that at 9 in the morning, there were concert goers who were breaking down barriers, were moving around, described by the police department as a mob, totally overran the merchandise facility such that they had to cordon it off and close it. There were people by noon up on top of the buildings. The point is, it continued to get worse. Remember, the deaths occurred at 9 o'clock that night. This was utter chaos from the moment that they went into the gates. And a lot of the video that has been seen of them, of a large group of people running through security and running through barriers, that's into the VIP area. That's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. These same people had already busted through the entry gates, had bypassed completely the COVID. They were supposed to be doing COVID screening and also screening of any purses or baggage. None of that occurred. And it was also known that in addition to the 50,000 ticketed individuals who had tickets to be there, there were many thousands who just burst through. There was one person caught with clippers cutting the chain link fence. The police department was as busy as a one-armed paper hanger, if you will. And it was all day long. And to suggest of anybody, I was thinking about this, this could have been anybody's children. In this case, it was Axel Acosta, who was literally squeezed to death because of this utter chaos. This is a young man that just went to have fun and died right there.
Well, doesn't Live Nation, Tony, the big music festival promoter, doesn't it have a long history of safety violations? Fan sues Gwen Stefani, Live Nation for Stampede. We've seen the headlines, Snoop Dogg, Live Nation sued by concert collapse victims. I mean, they have a $20 million record judgment for pain and suffering. This is a lot.
They're the ones that put on the concert in Las Vegas.
It says Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, Live Nation was also sued because victims collapsed at their concerts.
That's what they recently settled with all the parties for $800 million. This is the same outfit, and let's.
It says, Live Nation faces a New York record of $20 million for pain and suffering.
Forget Travis Scott, who's been arrested on 2 occasions for inciting a crowd and encouraged them to burst through barriers and to run over police officers, and encouraging people to jump from the top deck, encouraging the crowd to beat up people in the crowd.
I mean, there's so much negligence to go around here and recklessness to go around here. There's so many levels of it, Tony. I know you're going through it for your clients.
All right. Yeah. Negligence and recklessness is the theme of this whole thing. How did Scott respond? Well, it says that in March, he launched this nonprofit philanthropy effort called Project Heal. It's a multi-tier long-term initiative of community-focused philanthropy and investment efforts. And he is saying this, quote, "Over the past few months, I've been taking the time and space to grieve, reflect, and do my part to heal my community," Scott began. He continues and says, "Most importantly, I want to use my resources and platform moving forward towards actionable change. This will be a lifelong journey for me and my family." What do you guys think about? Now, I haven't looked into Project Heal or what they've actually been doing or accomplished since March, but this is not like a new story. The upset of the woman who lost her baby is new. She wasn't originally included because she doesn't live in Texas. She lives in Ohio. So, but yeah, this is just, it's like an ongoing, situational crisis for these individuals because a lot of things were lost. This was a crazy, crazy thing. I'm glad I was not there, but Travis Scott has history of doing these kind of dangerous incitements of violence and rage, and it's just not healthy, in my opinion. That's it. That's all.
Now he's supposed to make an appearance on the Billboard Music Awards, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, he had his first concert, I think, last week. Since it had been 6 months since he had been in concert, and he had his first one last week, and then he's scheduled to perform later this summer. Yeah, at the Billboard Music Awards. Do you think it's too soon?
I mean, is it ever too soon?
I was going to say, I don't know what the right answer to that is. I do think that Travis Scott did, if I were his crisis manager, he did exactly what I would have told him to do. He shut up. He went away. He did do that one interview that I probably would not have advised him to do, but it really was, he did it immediately after the concert, and he really hasn't said much of anything else. He's been very quiet. He had another baby. He really hasn't done a whole lot. And even now with him coming back, he's just kind of coming back real quiet. Like, he's not doing the whole publicity tour. He's not doing the woe is me. He's done some community outreach projects and stuff like that. The reality of the situation is no one is ever you're never going to make everybody happy. You're never going to make everybody happy. And there really is no perfect answer. But at what point is this man, if he's ever going to be allowed to work again? I mean, that's what he does. That's his job. I don't know. I think when all he can do right now is try to work until and try to settle these cases for whatever he can do,
Yeah.
But as many cases as there are, I don't know. It'll be, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree that it is a hard answer or a hard question to answer because he's apologized to a certain degree. He also wants to heal. He also wants to move on with his life. And no, I don't think he deserves to, be punished or any of that forever. I think after a certain time, things do heal. But I do also just want to add that I really would hope that as he continues to make strides to I guess do better, to promote safety at his shows, that's got to be something that we see. There's got to be some changes there because this should never have happened, and God forbid it happen again.
This is my take on it. I feel like he's basically the fall guy because his name, I mean, everybody's there to see him. But he's no logistic expert on crowd, control and all this. He's an artist who's there to perform. So I really am just not all the way convinced that, it's I don't even think it might be like 5% his fault because he, in terms of fault, right? I feel like maybe 5% his fault because, he's trying to get the crowd riled up or something like that. I'm not all the way convinced that he should be the fall guy for this. I feel like it should be Live Nation and the security people. I mean, he's just an artist there to perform. And so I think that people have to point the blame somewhere. And so Travis Scott is on the bill, so it would be Travis Scott. That's how I feel about it.
That's very true.
It's time for him to go out and perform again. I feel like the event was definitely tragic. I'm not trying to minimize the travesty and the devastation. But let the man go ahead and continue to perform and be the artist that he is. He's not a logistical crowd expert control person. Like it's just that's not him.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like until some court documents come out that are showing that he acted in a negligent way, as far as he knew that people were out there. I know a lot of stuff was said when it happened, But it's just like anything else. I need to see the facts, the court documents, what truly was said versus what the facts are versus a whole lot of rumor. And when something like that happens, there's a whole lot of, well, I heard. So once we get the facts, then we'll be able to kind of really have a conversation.
Yeah, and the city of Houston holds a lot of responsibility too. And that's just my take. They were aware of all the things that happen at this festival. Like, they hold a lot of responsibility. All right, you can take this little Travis Scott out the thing, and Really B, you're gonna go ahead and talk about the Black Lives Matter follow-up.
Yes, so we have another story to follow up from. We have the Black Lives Matter. So it was actually our inaugural show. We did story on Black Lives Matter and whether they misappropriated funds or not. And the reality of the situation is we found out that a couple of things are happening. Patrice Colliers, and I hope I'm saying her last name correctly, she has come forward and admitted to using the house inappropriately. She's not saying that, she's not admitting to misappropriating any funds, but she did say that the house that $6 million mansion that they purchased, she did admit that she used it for purposes other than what they were supposed to. She hosted a reception for the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris after they won the election now. And she also had a birthday party for her son there, which is still bad. Like, I know a lot of people might be like, oh, that's not a big deal. That's not petty. I mean, that's not, people are being petty. But again, like we said in the first story, when you are starting these organizations and you're filling out paperwork for tax statuses and things like that, it is very specific about what you can and cannot do. It is very specific about your tax status. And again, I don't have all of their paperwork in front of me, but her using that house to host a birthday party for her son, her using that house to have a political event, that could be very damaging to the organization. If they have a certain tax status where they're not supposed to associate with, any one political group or not. So we also know that Candace Owens' child has been stalking the woman. She claims she's writing a book, but listen, I want Candace Owens to go somewhere and sit down. Okay, I want her to go somewhere and sit down.
Just crazy.
It's a messy thing.
Right. I feel like they could have, I think they need to be a lot more transparent about how they are using the funds. And you know what? They could possibly be, but it's not, I can't think top of mind like what they've done with the funds. I'm assuming that they're using the funds to help a lot of the victims that have been, have faced discrimination or have been dealing with the cops and all of those things that are race related. But I just feel like they need to put some of those funds into a better way of disseminating information to social media and media platforms where we can receive the information. Like, for example, use those funds towards marketing and promotion, maybe in Essence, maybe in Vibe magazine. Take out a page, take out a spread that explains to us, the Black community, where we are, like with how the funds are being allocated. Put some money towards that. Better communicate to us where our money is going. Talk to the community. So that's my frustration. I don't think they are as transparent as they need to be. If the funds outside of these homes are being properly used.
I agree. And they're still receiving donations and in a large portion. So I couldn't agree with you more. There needs to be more accountability and transparency.
Right. And I think Nikki is right. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all I had to say. Yeah.
I think Pinky is right. It's almost as if BLM has taken over, or BLM is like the modern day version of NAACP. Or, and I think that there's some confusion there as well. Like, what is your mission? What are your goals? Why are you different from the NAACP? Where should, so we know where to put our monies, where to put our donations, and what it's for. And you're right, Pinky, it's starting to become more like, award shows for the NAACP, and that's not what it was founded for.
Exactly.
I'm just confused, and I shouldn't be confused. I'm a Black woman. We all Black here. I think. I just think that
these funds have actually gone to the victims' families, like what was originally purposed.
Right.
Families haven't even a dime.
Right. And I think that's the other problem too. And I'll speak for myself, so let me preface my next statement by saying, pardon my ignorance, but I think that's the other issue too, is I've heard of Black Lives Matter. Obviously, I know what Black Lives, but what do they stand for? What is the purpose? Why were they founded? Like, were they like, you know what I mean? Was it supposed to be a organization to help the victims? Like, what was the intent?
Right.
Like, I think those are questions that we don't have the answers to.
Right.
I don't want to, I don't want to beat up. I certainly don't want to beat up on, Black people. I don't want to, I want Black people doing the right thing. I definitely want to support and be there. I absolutely. But I'm not gonna hold you up if you're wrong.
Right.
I can't. I'm not gonna hold you up if you're wrong. And the thing that I said this when we first did the story, a lot of times these things, you start something and then it blows up, and you don't hire the right people, you don't put the right people in place that are going to give you the right advice, that are going to tell you what you need to do, that are going to file the right paperwork. Y'all got a lot of money in a short period of time. You probably should have sat on that money until you maybe created a board, and y'all, people who know how to run, nonprofits, who, like, a lot of that stuff is very convoluted, and once you learn it, it's great. But if you don't know, it's okay to say, listen, I don't know what to do. And you hire the right people, because that's what people do, right? If you don't know how to do something, don't you hire somebody? Like, if you don't know how to fix a sink, don't you hire a plumber? So right. It's the same concept. If you say, listen, I started this organization because I just wanted a place for Black people to come together and be able to share their experiences and us try to support each other. And now that organization has blown up into a multi-million-dollar situation literally overnight, with a lot of eyes on it and a lot of hands in the bucket. Okay, we need to stop. We need to sit down, and we need to figure it out.
Absolutely.
I want to see them succeed. I have no desire to see Black Lives Matter fail, but I'm also not going to uphold you when you're wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Lauren, they said that the $6 million mansion was going to be used for filming, like, so they can get the message and spread the word out, kind of also like a studio. And I think also maybe for housing for some families that may have been affected by, discrimination type of, situations. Like, for example, I think it would be great in my mind, the only reason why I would think they would have a house is kind of like, for example, let's say, and I'm sure that Sandra Bland's family must have received death threats and all of those things after she had passed. So in order for, the family to have some level of security or whatever, they would bring her family into the home for protection. Like, I get that. I get that. But I don't know. It's not very clear why a $6 million house needs to be purchased. And if they are going to be doing filming and things for social media and media platforms, a commercial space can do that. You don't need to get a residential space for that. So
I think this was a shell. For example, how a lot of individuals took out PPP loans and they opened up storefronts or whatever, and it was just kind of like a shell to say that was what they're going to use that money for. I believe this house was a similar situation. Latrice Colliers lived there for a period of time. Plus, since it opened in 2020, there's only been 2 videos filmed there. So exactly what you're saying, Peace Love, is just like, it's not adding up.
Right.
Now, why was Latrice doing all that crying when Candace Owens knocked on her door?
Oh no, I didn't see the video.
You're the one that sent me the video, Peace Love.
The video. Oh my God, I just sent a link. I didn't even look at it. I knew that was your topic, so I just forwarded it to you.
Uh-oh.
I was
like, she was crying, like boo-hoo crying.
Really? I didn't even open it. I was so tired. I
was so pissed. I've ever seen.
I was so pissed I didn't even look at it. I was just like, ugh.
Girl. And Candace Owens went live while Latrice was live and was like, look, she's crying, and all I did was knock on her. I don't like Candace Owens.
Yeah, I don't really like that kind of energy. That's why I didn't open it. I was like,
oh yeah, it's some fakery stuff. I don't believe she's doing a documentary. I think Candace is doing that for attention. I don't know. I'm not a fan, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's too many Candace fans on this side of the pond. I'm just being honest. I'm going to speak for myself, but I'll speak for y'all too.
Right.
Ciao. Well, can I give another, I know this wasn't on our agenda before we go into our final topic. I just have a quick thing I want to put in here. I pulled the article. I know that I think we did talk about this, you guys. I know yesterday some information came out about Meg Thee Stallion allegedly only having glass in her foot or whatever, and people have kind of just run with that. But I want to say this. I want to bring this up. I found an article from Page 6 that was published when this first went down. And what I want to say to people is that two things can be true at the same time. And what I mean by that is there's a medical report that says there was glass on her foot, but there's also a medical report that says that there are bullet fragments in her foot. So I don't want people to get so caught up in sound bites and then, one-sided statements and run with it and turn it into, oh, I knew Meg was lying, blah, blah, blah. But the medical report that CBS News presented that also Page 6 reported says that she absolutely did have bullet fragments in her foot as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there before people go running with the story. And I think we did speak on it, but that came out yesterday. So I just wanted to just throw that out there as well. And there is an article, Page 6 did write an article back when this first happened that stated that the medical report does state that there's fragments in her foot. So wanted to say that. But go ahead, Audrey. I'm gonna add this to the stream.
No, thank you for adding that, because it's true. You cannot believe everything you hear. And like you said, I love how you stated that two things can be true at the same time.
Right.
Are y'all ready? Okay.
Yep.
Breathe in.
Oh yes.
Breathe out. Breathe in. Ooh, breathe out. Now sleep. You guys, this is the type of thing that we should be celebrating, recognizing, and speaking about. So what I'm going to do is read over some of these things in honor of self-love. We touched on self-care, but we can never also get enough of self-love because they go hand in hand. Now, where's my thing that I need to see? All right. These are the kind of, when you're in love with yourself, when you're finding yourself, when you are pleased with who you are, inside, outside, mind, soul, body, spirit, all of those things. These are the things that you should be saying and reciting over yourself. These are just some examples. Here we go. Feeling joyful attracts abundance. Positivity is a choice that I choose to make. I'm able to be present in every moment. I'm stronger than I seem. I'm becoming who the universe meant for me to be. I feel my heart filled with content when I realize my many blessings. I may be afraid sometimes, yet I continue. I am a strong and beautiful person. I'm grateful for even the smallest blessings in my life. If I'm single, I am attracting my future partner. Everything feels so right in my life that I can't stop smiling. I'm grateful for the ability to walk, to think, to talk, and to be. I recognize the blessing of beginning fresh. Today and every day will be a productive day. I see abundance all around me and I feel so blessed. I'm learning how to listen to my soul and I am in tune with my spirit being. Miracles are taking place all around me and in my life. I learn lessons from even the worst of days. I focus on positive outcomes. I will continue to respect myself every day because I am worthy of healing. Confidence is in my first, middle, and last name. I let go of bad thoughts. I will be gentle with myself even when I make mistakes. Others are drawn to me because of my positive energy. I trust myself to make important decisions about my physical and mental health. I release toxic thoughts and negative energy. They flow up, away, and out of my being. I am beautiful in all of my ways, not just physically. I am manifesting everything I deserve. I am making my process of healing a priority. I am open to listening and understanding other people's ideas and beliefs. The best thing I can do for myself is be grateful. I am at home in my own body. I am grateful for my prayers being answered. I trust my body to heal itself. Love and kindness flow through me. I am a good person and deserve to be loved. I am my ancestors' dreams come true. I give myself permission to chase my dreams, chase my goals, and achieve everything I desire. My positive thoughts will bring me positive things. I'm strong because I am raised by a strong mother or parent. I'm allowed to choose myself. I am strong enough to heal myself. I carry myself with love and grace. I am the best me in the world. I am safe in this moment. I deserve fulfilling relationships. I motivate myself to reach my maximum potential and I let go of all toxic relationships. I release every block that held me back from receiving prosperity. I relieve myself of any worry. I trust the process of growth. I embrace joy. I am getting healthier and happier every day. I'm finding ways to feel comfortable in uncomfortable situations. I know soon enough that I will be able to look back and realize that everything happened for me. This is how we should speak to ourselves, over ourselves, and love ourselves. How you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. Forget about all of this Kevin Samuels rhetoric stating that we are not high value because someone doesn't think we're high value. No, we are high value because we believe that we are. And we walk and think and speak and be that because that's who we are.
I feel like
I'm sorry. Go ahead, really.
Okay, I feel like we need to be snapping.
Yes, let's. All around. Okay, we need some of that. That it's not a trombone. Is it a trombone? Some of that ding 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 music. Self-love is one, a noun. It's a regard for one's own well-being and happiness. And it's a state of appreciation for oneself that grows from actions that support our physical, psychological, and our spiritual growth. All of these things combined. Examples to start loving yourself more, or if you're having struggles in these areas of loving yourself and promoting self-love and actually believing that you are lovable, know that you are always worthy. Get to the root of why you struggle to love yourself. Get to the root of why You can't look in the mirror and say, I love you so much. Stop waiting until you are quote unquote perfect or meet a goal to love yourself. Loving yourself doesn't equate to goals reached. It equates to who we are in your being, who God created you to be. Don't shy away from working on yourself. Create boundaries with toxic or damaging people and get to know yourself and your traits. And also practice abundant self care. I always say that, but the foundations of self love are self discovery, mental health, self acceptance, boundaries. We cannot get enough of having boundaries, and listening to your inner voice. Find out if your thoughts are those intrusive thoughts that don't come from you. And if they are the intrusive thoughts, immediately reject them and replace them with something positive. For example, oh my God, I'm so fat. That's one of the things I struggle with, maybe about 12 years ago or so. So now I replace that with, oh my gosh, I love my curves, right? But it took practice. It takes self-discovery, and it takes you really being on a journey of healing and loving yourself in all of your ways. Flaws, big boobs, big titties, and all. All right. Or small ones, whatever you have, love them to the fullest. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, listen, I think in light of the conversation we had earlier about Kevin Samuels, I think that is that affirmation is right on time. If you love yourself and you find self-love, then you don't really need anybody else's acceptance or validation. So I think that's right on time. Thank you so much, Andrea, for always giving us the nice Zen moment at the end of our conversation. I want to thank everybody. I did put you guys links in the chat. It's pinned. So if you are not subscribed to Peace Love, if you have not subscribed to Andrea and Cups of Conversation, who is in the chat, she is our 4th panel member right now. She is on the sidelines temporarily handling some outside YouTube business. But please make sure that if you are not subscribed, we're trying to get Andrea to her 1,000 subscribers. Y'all know over here on YouTube, there's so much more you can do once you hit that milestone. And so we're definitely trying to get her there. We will be back in 2 weeks, which is May the 26th, I believe. And we will be on Andrea's channel. So you guys are going to have to float on over there and meet us over at Andrea's house. Okay. She's going to straighten up the den for us and let us have a copper squat down in her den. But I'm a let Peace, Love, and Andrea give their final thoughts as well. But I just want to thank everybody for being here. I know there's a lot going on YouTube tonight. There's a lot of lives happening. So I appreciate those of you that came through, that you're rocking with me. And if you're catching us on the replay, gang, I appreciate that as well. Make sure you hit a like. Make sure you and share it out, and definitely go ahead and make sure you subscribe to everybody. I'm going to go ahead and let Andrea, I think I've been starting with Peace, Love most of the night. So I'm going to let Andrea give her final remarks, and then we're going to come to Peace, Love.
My final remarks are that I am just so grateful for you ladies. Peace, Love, ReallyBTV, Cups of Conversations. Really wouldn't, have this opportunity were it not for all of you. And I appreciate all of you and everyone in the chat and watching the replay. Thank you so much for being present and just for letting us share our thoughts and speak on these topics that we think are entertaining, and we hope that you're finding some kind of enjoyment and value out of what we have to offer.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, love. Yeah, this has definitely been a great experience working with you guys so far. So I'm looking forward to future lives. Great energy, great fun. Looking forward to Cups coming back. We miss you, girl.
We miss you, cousin.
Miss you, cousin. And I just want to leave with this, because I did talk about the Kevin Samuel story. Don't let somebody's knucklehead, arrogant, pompous jerk son define who you are. You define it for yourself. You know your value. You have to understand your value. Don't let somebody's, son tell you what your value is. Okay? That's it.
Agreed.
Amen to that. That's amen. Well, again, thank you guys for being here. Make sure you are subscribed. Please, if you are in the chat, hit the like button on your way out. It is free 99. That's what I always tell my people. It is free 99. If you're not subscribed to me, go on and hit that subscribe button while you're in here, chat. Okay. And we will see you guys back in 2 weeks. All of our social media, emails, and all that stuff is in the description box on our channels. So if you have any questions that you may want us to address, any story suggestions or things of that nature, feel free to reach out to us. Like, we read it, we hear it. We'll take it into consideration when we sit down and figuring out our topic. So, the door is always open. So hit us up.
Sounds good.
All right. I'm getting ready to hit I'm about to hit the button. We about to be out.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. You guys have a great weekend. Talk to y'all later.